So last time, well, one of our players wasn't here. So if you guys would like to inform them of what has happened in the past 60 or so seconds of in-game time.
Adventure, excitement, no romance.
So, unfortunately, being a little too exposed on the side, Kuromizawa got flung. He managed to survive. He saved on his death saving throws. I'm not sure if we've actually gotten to him to check him out yet.
Elvis is over there.
Okay. So, but that was basically one of the things that really screwed us over, because a whole lot of people started leaving the bubble trying to get over to him, and then they started getting thwacked by tails and flaming spears because they had come around to flank us. We did use the bubble and whatever other means. A few people got to zero a few times. A certain somebody lost access to his arm for a moment, but a big enough heal restored it.
Yikes.
So he's back to normal again. I think it was one of your, like, a level 3 healing word, mass healing word that did it even. So
I was going to say, the best thing I have is mass healing word.
Yeah, so I think it was part of that. Basically, the plus and the minus of using the bubble, it worked really good. Everyone in it was basically safe. The downside was the two people that couldn't go in it made us very vulnerable, as we had to be able to help protect and save them and stuff.
Yep.
And so yeah, it was kind of tough when Montlarin fell and had to get whip dragged on horseback up to the safe spot.
Wow, I only have 10 life too.
Yeah, a lot of people are real battered right now too.
You are doing better than some.
And at the end of it, since the two kids left kind of midway through because they're like, shit, we don't know what we can do about that damn bubble, let's get out of here. They told the rest to fight and kill us or die, but they don't want to see them again unless we're dead.
Blue skidoo!
So,
they bailed.
retreated. We killed the rest. We killed both of the FOMOers, right?
One of them is paralyzed.
Oh, that's right. One of them got hit with the paralytic poison, is basically like stuck for an hour.
I was going to say, does that wear off? Because maybe you want to go finish them.
Yeah, we can do a lot with them there.
Yeah, there's like 59 minutes left on that. On that.
And what are they? Are they salamanders?
Most of them are salamanders, but two of them were big old Fomorian things that weren't actually fire resistant. That was partially why they were able to get taken down kind of earlier on in the battle.
I was just curious. Is there any sort of reagent you can draw for them, like, take their blood or something?
Yeah,
they're also the ones that have the psychic stare.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
so we had to take them out ASAP.
Irenaeus got hit with the deforming gaze that you can only. It's a curse, so remove curse will take care of it. Otherwise, you can try to save on it on a long rest. So, hopefully that save works. Otherwise, it's going to probably be a curse at some point, or remove curse. So we got most all of them down, except one who realized they were completely cornered and surrounded, and they actually surrendered. And that's when the battle stopped, because it was 1 a.m. our time, I believe.
Well, wow. 5 a.m. for Serb.
Oh, wow. It was 2 a.m. our time.
Yeah, still, shit, dude.
So, the current situation, Amber Green, I believe you have just been healed from dying, actually.
I was going to say, I'm only at 10 hit points, so I'm clearly not doing well.
You were on the ground, and Angela has gotten you back up. But this salamander before you, who was a moment ago having a magical laughing fit on the ground thanks to Albus Tavern,
Tasha's.
Has come to his senses and saw one of his companions get frozen to death while it tried to flee over the wall. Sees the rest of his companion down and defeated, and threw up his hands and said, "I surrender." And so
Oh yeah, you had
Aranais
ice breath for a moment. Forgot that.
That's right.
So effectively we won.
It would be Aranais' turn, but Aranais player is not here. So Naya, you would have first claim of doing anything you want to do right now. I don't know if you're in that building or on top of it.
I am. I believe I am on top of it, standing next to
Jabberlax? Okay.
Jabberlax, yeah. And what I did was save 2 spell slots for heals. What I don't know now anymore is who is in the worst shape. It was Ombois, but who is now in the next worst shape?
Right. Well, you have got yeah, you'd probably be able to see Kuromisawa. Obviously, you just saw this salamander throw his hands up, and actually, so I might have forgotten to mention this last time. But any dialogue that they had, including this surrender, is shouted in Draconic. Although
Okay, so those of us
up,
that speak Draconic can pass it on. Okay.
the hands up is
The
pretty
last one
universal,
surrendered.
in any case.
Okay, so I cannot get even halfway to Kuromzawa on a dash, right? Because I'm on top of the roof.
Yeah, that would be pretty difficult. You'd be able to make it maybe to about there on a dash. If you wanted to do that, maybe a little there.
Right, but then I can't take her. Can I take an action after I do a dash?
No, dashing is your action. You use your action in order to use movement twice.
Unless you're a thief.
All right. Well, I guess I will dash. So I can get. Is anybody else in worse shape than Kuromisawa?
I don't think so.
Well, last you saw of Sharp, he was on the floor.
Right.
Ambergreen was also on the ground.
Right, but he's up now.
Montlarin.
Where's Sharp?
Is okay. Sharp is down.
Oh, I see Sharp.
Yeah.
So Sharp is just down below me?
He's in the hallway, yeah, in indoors.
Is he down? Like prone? Out? Down?
Yes, but Lufael has managed to stabilize him. I don't know if Naya knows that yet. I don't know if she saw him go down either. So I forget exactly when that happened.
Does Lufael have a heal?
Like I said, she was able to stabilize him at least. So he's unconscious at 0 health and not making death saving throws.
All right. So if Sharp is stabilized, then that leaves the worst being Kuromisawa. So Naya is going to go ahead and dash, but she can only get half of the distance. Best I can do.
Okay, so seeing the salamander surrender, you're going to leave it at that and turn and hop down to go help Kuro. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I have saved the spell slots for. So,
Albus, what's your drag limit for weight?
Give me a second to roll down. Where is it actually? I don't know. How do I know this?
It should be near the bottom of your character sheet.
Bottom of your inventory.
Oh no, Discord was just covering it up.
Yeah, there it is. Push drag or lift.
It's 300 pounds.
300. You would be able to drag Kuro. So you'd be able to.
Comedic.
What?
I was saying it's comedic.
Yeah,
The idea
Yes.
of a
It is
2'5". Okay.
But yeah, you can kind of get your entire body around one shoulder or maybe the head and get him away from this steep hill if you wanted. You'd be able to go half your movement if you're dragging someone or something.
Okay, well, you can get him within heal distance, and then I'll heal him up on my next turn.
If you want to do that, and yeah, I'll drag him along with you.
I can dash though, right? Another half
You can
movement.
in fact dash while dragging. Yes.
All right. I'm kind of rolling him actually in order to get this dash going.
Clank, clank, clank.
There it is. Oh, that's a good gif. Exactly.
All right.
Except, oh god.
The Golden Warrior has been rolled. So
Yeah, just don't tell him.
Are all of you guys this fucking heavy?
Yes, we're big. Big Dragonborn. You little.
okay, so Jabberlax.
The word these days, Paul, is thick.
Fine. I mean, hell, Naya waddles, and she's young.
She's like, you got so much thigh up in here.
I do. They're thick.
I mean,
Thunder thighs.
Nimbus without his backpack and bedroll is only about 160 pounds, so, with his gear and stuff. Not so bad.
I mean, if I could have gotten to him, Naya could have dragged 360 pounds of him, and I know he doesn't weigh that much.
Yeah.
I weigh a good 35.
Right. I was gonna say, I'm dense.
She could have dragged him, and with you on her shoulder.
Yeah. Dwarves are extremely dense. So.
Gnome.
He's a gnome. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
I thought
everybody's seen
Andrew was
like
talking about
a little toddler with like super rage mode push a couch or something. Similar sort of thing.
Totally.
So Lufael is tending to Sharp and making sure he doesn't die. Jabberlax will knock an arrow at the salamander to keep an eye on him, but he seems to have understood.
That's a good plan.
The hands up surrender deal. And Angela, now that Amber Green is up, she'll step out of the way, and she will also poise her spirit weapon in position, just in case. So Nimbus, if there's anything you'd like to do, you'd have the chance next, then Amber Green, then Montlarin.
Probably take a few steps closer and ask in Ignan, did you say you surrender?
He switches to Ignan, and he says, yes, I'm done.
Oh, splendid.
Whatever sort of mercy you have.
What language is Ignan?
That's one of the primordials. It's
primordial,
yeah. Elemental fire, basically.
Yeah.
So, philosophically, why is that within the language? Isn't fire all consuming?
Well, there are within the planes, there are levels of how consumed things are. The closer you are to the material plane, the more like the material plane things are. Also, Amber Green, we can hear your typing in the background. Just
sorry, I'll fix that.
All good.
Absolutely bueno. No, it was just more of like a funny thought. I was all like, wait, is Ignan like fire speech or something like that? Like culturally.
Yes. Yeah. It's the language of the
why would
fire
we-
elementals.
Yeah, yeah.
I
so
believe
a funny
I believe
thought
we
is like why would fire elementals have a concept of surrendering?
I believe we've previously described Ignan as a language involving lots of cracks and pop and sizzles made by
Yeah.
the mouth.
We have had
so
that
it's
conversation.
a little difficult for material plane folk to learn how to speak it, but they get by.
Yeah, as a Genasi, I kind of get an advantage just as, you know, somebody who is racially of the planes of sorts. But
yeah, you're not quite opposite of the fire plane either, so
Yeah.
it's not as bad as a water genasi might have it. That is what happens. Ambergreen and Montlaurent, would you either of you like to do anything? Ambergreen would be first, technically. I don't know if either of you know either of those languages.
Yeah, I don't. So I don't. I hear them conversing in fire, essentially.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel woozy. Does someone have some tea? Do we have a plan to rest?
You probably would have recognized Draconic beforehand as well, so you know that he's switching those.
I've heard Draconic at least before. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
you
have
know it sounds like.
Yeah.
And Angela's got you. She'll help you to your feet, and she'll be like, "It's okay. I think we won."
Sure. This will be an epic tale.
It will be.
Well,
Considering that our backup never arrived or didn't arrive in time to be of any help here.
as long as everybody's she'd be too far away to hear you say that, but we'll get to that later.
No, OOC then.
So Montlaurent can get involved here.
Yeah, I don't speak Primordial, but I do speak Draconic, so I'll stick to that language and say to the salamander, so you can never go back, right? You're
My thoughts exactly.
basically in exile. Tell us what you know and we'll let you walk out of here. Where are they? And if we have a map, I'll point to a map and be like, show me where they are.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys actually have a map. Well, Alvis.
I know Alvis does.
Yeah. So he says, yes, I can tell you where the princess and the prince lair. Southeast of here, in the mountains, at the base, they have a fortress surrounded by lava. And we can most likely fast forward to the point where Alvis Tavra is able to give you a map. Do you let the salamander touch the map?
No, I ask him to.
Absolutely not. Don't touch my fucking map.
Right, yeah, don't do that.
So he points a few inches away from the map and indicates the rough position based on where you tell him that you're currently located. And he says, it should be somewhere around there, but you might not want to go there. They will be perhaps just as well defended there as you were here, if not greater.
What can you tell me about the one they call his father?
So he says, the Dragon King, glory by his wings and crest. I have served all of my life under his daughter, Princess Nasharala, and son, Prince Zoramos.
Yee.
Ask him
How
about
recently have you all come here?
I have lived in this place for my whole life. I believe the Dragon King has been here for uh, a century, perhaps, maybe more.
Okay. I'm certain I have run out of my 10 seconds or whatever. So
Well, that's fine. We don't need to be in combat anymore. So these conversations can be happening while Naya's doing her healing and getting Kuro up and other stuff is going on.
So for
yeah,
the
Can we step out of initiative order now? Can I just go heal him?
Yes.
Excellent, thank you.
for the
Do I need to link it and stuff?
If you want to blow a spell slot on Healing Spirit, just
Yes.
do it and then roll the dice.
Okay.
I'll give Kuro the health.
I've got a healing word available as well as a healing spirit.
Okay.
Level 3 and level 1. So
at a certain point, Lufio will kind of pull Sharp out of the building.
I have a cure wounds left, so I can cast that on Sharp.
Okay, go for it.
okay, good.
That's better than nothing.
6. He's up. He sits straight up.
Serb,
Yes.
if I do this, come on. As a level 3, it's a level 1 spell with a tier 3 rank.
So that'll just
Can
be
I
the
throw
19.
that on Kuromisawa?
Yep.
Okie dokie.
All right.
And then
he's up.
I will clear that spell slot that I was reserving.
Cool.
So that leaves me with 1 level 1.
Gets up. Ooh, did I miss it? We done?
Yep. All good.
Oh. Damn it. All right, well.
Okay, so can we have a huddle? Our group? I suppose we need to climb over the wall and actually physically get together.
Yeah, or walk around to the front doors open again.
While they'd be taking care of that, I'd probably be asking, for example, what is the redshift to you folks? Does it affect you? Does it affect your kind, or do you simply walk through it as if it were nothing?
Good question.
Okay, so while you're talking to the salamander, you probably have some idea of what I'm asking the group, which is there room for a salamander on our side? Seems like it could be valuable.
Can we keep it charmed?
Well,
do we need?
It's not charmed.
He's not charmed. He
He's
is surrendered. So we either let him go.
Do we trust that?
Well, he because he surrendered, he can never go back.
Well, we understand that, but
can we
bind
trust
him to us, right?
Effectively a double agent without any kind of magical binding.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Anybody have any ideas?
I got an idea. I've been trying to talk to him, but then Mom got my attention and I'm distracted.
Albus, can you speak either of his tongues?
I've just been talking at him.
Okay, got it.
That is Alvis Tavern.
So let me first answer the Nimbus question. He says the Redshift. We've heard that name for it, but we do not enter. None of us.
So then where would you go?
Avoid it.
Certainly.
Yeah,
can
how do
stay
you
here.
avoid it?
He looks reticent. Keep in mind, you told your superiors to go find the princeling.
Stark did.
Yeah. Also, are you, Montlarn? Are you manhandling those bodies?
That's my intention. Yes.
And me
Okay,
and me and Monty were gonna go do that. But then I'm wait.
When he sees you go and like touch one of his fallen comrades, he calls out to you, Montlarn, because he knows you can understand his tongue, and in Draconic he says, "Wait, I have some familiarity with how you sorts of people do things, and uh, the way it should be done for us is leave them and let nature take its course."
Oh, a sky burial.
Yeah, that's
Very
funny. I
well.
was thinking that.
yes, absolutely. Right after we're done harvesting them, for we are part of nature.
Yeah, I won't say that part in Draconic, but I'll nod and say, yeah, I understand. We will leave them here when we leave this fortress.
If you have any mercy, then at least give them that respect.
Of course.
You won't tell them about it. Have a Alvastabber.
Yeah, quietly to Alvis, I will simply say, let's let him leave the fortress before we worry about that.
Or
Drag them all into,
do the ones out of sight.
Yeah, my point is I'm not going to let anybody do anything where this guy can see it or run across it later. So I want to make sure he's gone before we think about that shit.
Okay.
Now, that might mean a couple of us stay behind if he decides to join the party. You know what I mean? But
After our superiors, interesting. See,
Angela has ascending left, doesn't she?
Yeah, she says I can contact the brigadier for us if you think it's the right time.
When
I
we're
can,
ready.
But I also had another
get her a
suggestion,
few
perhaps,
words.
that the salamander might also enjoy if he doesn't want to work for the people who just killed all the guys he knows. So my guild has a wide variety of people, and Sharp could even put in a note for them as well. They can employ many different species and even settle them into relatively normal lifestyles. It's just a suggestion that we could have. We could ship them out if they don't want to work with us.
So
My guess is that it might be a little too soon for that.
I should inform you, friend, if I can call you that this is not your usual place for sky burial of sorts. The unfortunate circumstance is that each and every one of them will become a twisted version of themselves and likely come back to hunt you and your kin.
I am aware, but we know this, and if that is what is meant to be, then so be it. However, I have not seen such a thing in all my exploits in this land.
Oh, it happened to one of our own who sadly fell years ago.
Yeah, I can attest to that. Saw it firsthand.
Yeah, I was there. It was horrific.
Even so, leaving them be is the way it should be, and Redshift returns them to life in some way, then that is what was meant to be in the either way.
So be it. I mean, we have no desire to disrespect your beliefs.
So what of you then? You're alive. It's not just gonna bring you back as some twisted form. It may very well melt you into a pile of twisted, horrid magma, and your last remaining moments are simply misery. Is there some means you have to avoid it?
We have a place we can retreat to.
But again, if your whereabouts are known, you'll be executed.
Right. So you don't have this readout. I can't hear what he's saying. I can't speak with this guy.
I'm translating as we go, so you know what's being said at least.
All right, cool. You're like the person standing next to the speaker who's doing
Okay, so we're in Draconic.
The ASL.
Yeah.
Okay, we will say we're in Draconic. He says what you've said is true, but I do not think I could kill all of you, nor do I think I could run away.
You don't think you could betray your nature as a mere servant, a mere slave of an empire that cares nothing about you, could you? They just left you to die. All your years of service and training. Could you really...
The princess and prince do what they need to do in their mission, and if that means we perish, then that is the way it is. However, I also do not particularly wish to die.
Well, if you're willing to stay as peaceful as you are now, there may be options available to you have not considered. The world extends much further than the Redshift.
Montlaran,
I'm aware, although I've never left.
You can pillage far and wide. You don't need to work with these people.
He says,
it's not my world.
He says, you have me well and truly cornered, and you have shown mercy. If your army takes prisoners, then I will submit.
Prisoners? Where do we get to put prisoners?
That's not
We've
for
done
us to
before.
decide.
Naya says in common
Yeah.
that I would vote for something other than prisoner. One, we don't have a way to corral it. I mean, we don't have a way to ensure that it doesn't do further damage to any of us or to anything else. But the way that I'm reading this and hearing this,
can we leave out that this this agent has any?
Naya, can you roll insight real quick?
Why couldn't it be something I have points in? Oh, insight.
Oh, I just hate that. Nice roll.
Nice, yeah.
You, the way he's looking at you as you're talking amongst each other, huddling, as you just did, you get the impression that he probably has some understanding of your common language, but perhaps not fluent. He seems to recognize a few of the words that you are saying.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. To the salamander, I'm going to say, well, for now, consider yourself a prisoner then. You'll be well treated as long as, again, you stay as peaceful as you are now. Raise the finger against us, and that will change, of course.
He lowers
Tell
his
him that
hand
I'm advocating for him. I would like him to maybe have a good life.
and coils up on his tail where he sits. And he says, I will do nothing.
Are they basically a biped or a quadruped, sir?
They're serpents with
Okay.
human-esque torsos.
A serpentar.
Mhm. This is
Yeah,
the
so-
equivalent of sitting for them.
Yeah, he has kind of coiled up on himself and sat back, just hands down, waiting for.
Well, that would be one of my questions: is what does it eat? And we can go get some.
I just gave it a ration.
Angela will dismiss her spirit weapon as well.
I mean, Naya kind of lives by an internal code of Geneva Convention.
Right, yeah.
And she gets it that not everybody lives that way. But
I'm sure
she
there's
occasionally has
some,
to be reminded of shit like that because
convention
of things
equivalent.
like Alvis's out loud commentary, and it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
What? I wanted to give him a job where he could become comfortable and make money.
Actually, I'm all okay with Alvis's suggestion versus just killing it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree. That would be simply barbaric. We are
Would
civilized.
be.
Tell me, your Fomorian friend, what's their allegiance? One is certainly not dead outside. I applied a poison to the dagger I stuck into him, and gonna be paralyzed
They answer
for the
to
next
Prince
hour.
Zorimos. If you have left one alive, he will surely try to kill you.
Well, that's unfortunate. Suppose we'll have to finish him off then.
Yeah, that's sad.
It is. For Warren could be really useful.
Is there any way we could like imprison it or send it away?
I don't think so. Whoever services it would have to be blind or blindfolded.
Yeah.
Right. We would have to put a bag over his head just to even talk to him.
Right. Now, that could work. A bag over the head is pretty simple.
Unless it lights him on fire.
Remind me though, because
Fomorian,
my
They
shot
are
hit him
also
in the eye. didn't it?
Fomorian is not necessarily of the elemental plane of fire, though, right?
Right, they're like an ant.
They are giant humanoids, or the giant type monster.
So they are of the
That's what I'm saying.
giant.
But they're
race?
they're not humanoid, are they? If they're humanoid, I could charm
Yeah,
person.
No, they're giant monster type.
Okay.
Oh, well, if they're giant, I imagine Elvis Saver would probably just sneak over at some point and finish him off, as he hates giants.
I know,
I
but
hadn't
it's
thought
like,
about that.
is there a way? We can't imprison these guys. Both of them are too weird, too outside the box for anything that we have. So the option is either to kill them or to find some way to get them to come over to our side.
Well, that's why I think using sending to let the brigadier know that we have a prisoner who is, willing to comply for now. It's ultimately not our decision. It's her decision. So we should probably arrange this meeting sooner than later and get on with things. That being said, a small group of us can move south, and a small group can remain in case the escapees return. Quote.
All right. Do we have anybody that is not in any kind of shape to begin a slowish march south?
Actually, everybody's up now. So,
Everybody's up, but not everybody's in really good shape. Like Amber Green only has
Angela
10
says-
points.
Angela says, none of us are in any shape to go anywhere. Naya.
Okay.
You need to slow down and maybe sorry. Okay. 2 over
That's
there.
fine. That's fine. That's good. That's what I wanted to know.
She says, we can pause for a little while. Maybe camp out here if we feel safe enough. And again, I can contact the brigadier as soon as we need her. I can tell her to meet us here, or I can tell her that we're going to meet her somewhere else.
Well, we could even meet her in the field south of here. But
we could reconvene at the Star Tower.
Nimbus, can you put some kind of a wall around this salamander? An ice wall?
An ice wall?
Would it be reasonably simple to maintain?
I mean, I can just spend 11 minutes putting up another bubble, and we can have almost all of us in it.
Well, I don't want to do that necessarily. I just want to make sure that
to detain them, right?
I'm looking at a way to secure it. So a wall of ice, or a prison of ice, or a cage of ice, or something of ice takes care of that without caging us.
No,
otherwise we're just caged.
I don't think I can build anything substantial enough that they wouldn't simply walk over it.
Okay.
And melt it. Yeah.
Melt it. Yeah. No, I think
they are quite hot in proximity. So
yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think it would probably be more insulting to try to do that, and instead just keep an eye out and probably continue conversation or something.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can stand guard in the meantime. Like, let the brigadier know either to meet us here, or we can march with him to the Star Tower and they can meet us there, which may make more sense since there's an obelisk there.
One other thought comes to mind. If we don't want to outright kill this guy, but we also don't want to let him, be out there in the wild on his own, whatever happens. I'm pretty sure, gosh, his name escapes me right now. The wizard guy, has a banish spell. They can just send it back to the elemental plane of fire.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's an option we can give it. It might even prefer that.
Yeah.
So
right,
actually,
but isn't it now exiled?
No, not from there. Just from the people that had employed it before.
Elementals that were born on the material plane are considered home plane material plane.
Oh, right.
Oh, so it actually was born here.
He did. He
said so. Yeah,
I
spent
see.
here his whole life.
Oh well, then we're back to treating it as ethically as we can and letting people above our pay grade make that call.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I still say we give him a job.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
I still think there's a chance
helps
he'll want to join the
think
expedition.
about other things. So,
Yeah.
I suppose I have to think about what I will do if the brigadier makes a decision I don't agree with, but I will do that privately.
All right then.
Right.
So Angela says, then I'll let the brigadier know what's going on. What do you think we should do?
If we're gonna stay here for the next hour, we should, if they're close, stay here. Otherwise, if they tell us that they're still a ways away, we should rest here for an hour and then start heading down to meet them.
Well, we could have one or two go down.
Well,
but the rest of us should stay here, up on a rooftop if necessary.
So,
kind of out of harm's way.
While we're hanging out here talking for the past 5 minutes, all the trees around us are still burning, right? There's a nice thick smoke in the air, right?
That is true.
My smoke bombs have been going off too.
Yes. you watery folk may want to get involved with that just a little bit. If you have the time.
I would probably then take some time to use the cannon to blast out some of the fires as best as possible.
You'd probably spend like 20 minutes
I
clearing
guess
out the local area.
I guess
Yeah, if
while
I
I'm
can
in
help.
the process of doing that, I would probably just go through and blast the Fomorian to finish it off. Like, all right, hose you off too. All right, we're done here.
Okay,
Yo, Monty, let's look over the Fomorians. We can't do the lizards yet.
So
So the message.
Angela,
Who is going to send the message to the brigadier? Sharp.
yeah, and Angela has it.
Okay.
Sharp's all out of spell slot, so she's going to say, Battle 1, Salamander prisoner. Surrendered. What should we do with him?
Tell them Avatar says hi.
We are going to recover. Meet at Aris's tower. If you can go there, that's 25.
Did you tell them that I said hi?
Or come north.
No, I actually think reconvening at the tower is the right answer. I'm pretty sure the salamander will march with us just fine.
Okay. I'm just looking at people not in good enough health.
If I could talk like a normal person with that spell, I would absolutely do it for you. Anyway, okay.
She just mom shushed me.
She says, the brigadier said she'll meet us there, and she wants to talk to the salamander. I assume she means when we get there.
I would assume that too.
I volunteer for that.
For what?
Me and Monty will do it, and then we'll ride back. That'll be a fast way.
Wait, what?
Oh no, a few of us. Monty said that we should stay back, make sure we're not followed. We'll catch up in an hour or two. Behind the rest of them.
Behind the rest.
If
Once
it's
I see.
if it's Montlaren and me, we can get by pretty quickly on the horse. I'm very light. Monty and Mounty would like to get together again after a long, hard-fought battle.
Crow says, that's fine. Lulu and I can take care of the prisoner for you. Montlarin, you can take a break.
Pat Kurazao on the back.
Somebody that can communicate with the salamander has to go with the salamander.
Yeah, I'm going to be going with that crew. I think a few people have primordial.
Well, and several of us have draconic because I taught them.
Yeah. Can we click the short rest button and get some heals going with them?
Yes. Yeah. So, after you do all the stuff that you're doing, you all can take a short rest and spend however many hit dice you like, alongside that to heal yourselves up. And allow me to do that for the rest of your friend.
Nice. Nat 10 on my 1d10.
Sweet.
Yeah, nice, man.
Well, I only have 1d10. I also have 5d5 or 5d8.
Right, I get it. Yep.
Yeah.
I forgot you were multi-class.
Why is it?
I'm gonna multi-class into battle tactician since I can get the stuff in time.
Nice.
How many can I roll? I have, it looks like 4d6 or 4 of 6d8 left.
So you can roll as many of those as you want. Just keep in mind you only get half of them back on your next long rest.
I'm only at 10 though of 36, so I should roll all 4.
Yeah, that's a good choice in this kind of situation. It just means you'll have only a few next time.
I thought the battle master, the tactician subclass for fighter was perfect for the whole like map thing that Alvis was doing.
Right.
It also explains his magic. Oh, you're still selected on me.
Oh, that was an accident, but whatever.
You got a 30 though.
The die roll works.
Oh yeah, the die roll will still work. It's just your character's permissions is still under my name.
Let me fix that. My apologies.
Oh, it's just I noticed Alvis Taver rolled a 30.
Thank you. Amber Green, I'm editing your sheet right now. Please hold.
All right. Good roll, dude.
Save changes. Okay, you have you are the only one who has control of it now.
Cool, thanks.
What did Lulu roll? 7. More. 6. Oh, she's full. Good. Oh, Roll20 does not like me meddling with these hit points tonight. No,
Oh my
sir.
god. That's terrible. But I'll take it. It's the blue one, right?
Yeah.
Who's got the
Weird,
highest
dog.
survival skill in the group? Is that
Not me.
Irenaeus?
I think it
Irenaeus
is.
has disadvantage on everything right
Oof.
now.
Yeah.
Right.
No wisdom.
What?
Irenaeus only gets
Oh,
disadvantage on dex
That
and
is,
strength checks.
That is true. You're right.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to do that to the DM.
I guess
No, you should
Yeah.
make sure that we're playing by the correct rules.
the intent of asking this is trying to get the best rolls we can. Oh, also, I guess somebody who has guidance would be able to help out with the whole
Oh
process.
shit! I didn't even think about that.
To use guidance on one person, have somebody give them the assist, and you've got like 2 rolls with a
Who hasn't
+1
rolled
on it.
yet?
What do you mean?
I can put guidance on them.
Oh no, they haven't started doing the harvesting. If you're gonna stay
Yeah,
behind
you're
with
thinking
them,
about harvesting after
like,
everybody leaves.
you can-
yeah.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about hit dice.
yeah.
So.
No, I mean, feel free to stay behind and help them harvest. Otherwise, I think doesn't
No,
Angela have
it's not
it?
my thing at all.
Angela does have guidance.
So maybe she should also stay back then.
Does Amber Green have guidance?
Does he?
Shouldn't he?
I thought that I did, but I was actually trying to load my
Lauren
character.
had guidance.
And now I keep loading the wrong thing.
Roll.
I mean, it's a perfectly normal spell for a bard to have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right?
I am going to disappear.
No, but
for
it just
a
loads.
moment.
It just loads a blank
Okay.
screen for me. It says pop out. It doesn't show me my character sheet. I could get it to show me my icon for a second, but that's it.
Wait, is your character sheet not working anymore?
Correct.
Hang on, let me take a look.
It's just
Oh, you only had the bio tab. You didn't have the rest.
correct.
Can you close the character sheet for a sec?
I did.
Okay. Can be edited and controlled by Amber Green. Wait, I don't see you in Roll20 right now, actually.
I was gonna say maybe I should restart the Roll20.
Yeah, that might help.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
It looks like everything's good on your sheet though, so you should be able to see it. log back in and see if it worked.
All right.
Okay, so all of the friends have healed themselves up, more or less, after this short rest. So this Fomorian over here was killed.
I still only have the bio and info screen.
Yeah, you're still not listed on my list of players either. Are you sure you're not logging in as Alvis Taver?
Oh, hold up.
Do you have
Let me
your
try.
account info saved? That would explain a lot.
That would explain a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, are you in as Alvis?
Oh, that was how he was rolling as Elvis anyway. It would have rolled as Ambergreen the first time.
You're right. Totally.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Log out and make sure you're logging back in because Elvis was using your computer.
Yep, that's what it is.
Okie dokie.
My bad. That was my mistake. I should have logged out.
Anyway, so this whole time that you all have been resting, of course, your new friend has been resting as well.
Yeah, it looks like that's what it was.
And Kuro is probably standing guard over him, specifically, very closely, blade out. Sitting at the base of the tree, just watching. Montlarin, were you or anybody else doing the same?
Yes.
Okay. So, midway through the short rest, he'd just look up and say, "It was a good fight, though. I think Prince Zoramos was having a lot of fun."
Oh, most likely.
Yeah, I'll laugh at that. Like straight up laugh out loud. Like, yeah, it really was. You almost had us there.
I have to say though, the impenetrable dome was quite the pièce de résistance here.
Perhaps on a better day, it would have gone the other direction.
Oh, if we had fought you at the arena, I'm sure we would have been at an extreme disadvantage, especially simply stumbling in while you've already been set up and ready.
That was the plan.
Actually,
the defenses were interesting. Clever strategy.
Alvis, if this is translated by Mont Laren to Alvis, Alvis would say, I feel like we also held up honorably to the deal. We both went to the arena, and then we declared that we were in the arena, and there were no rules about going off. So, even thinking about it, it was a good fight.
I can't.
Yeah, I'll
fault
pass
you for
that
your
off.
cunning. In the end, it worked.
So,
In the end, it worked for what?
For
us, I mean, we
for your
prevailed.
victory.
Yes. And what about you?
Well, I've been soundly defeated, I suppose, and my companions and brothers are dead. So,
If our superiors allow it, I would still like to offer you a job, maybe even a life outside of this deserted land.
Oh, something that I've been curious about since he had told us of it. Alvastaver had left apparently a soiled rag from one with insignia of Morio in the arena to, let them know that we were there. Were you present when either of the siblings discovered it? Because I'm just so curious to know how they reacted. Obviously in a firestorm afterward, but
actually, one of the giants discovered it first. They were the first to enter the arena, as they had run ahead of us, excitedly. And, well, they brought it back to Prince Zorimos, and then we followed the trail here. And, yeah, Ari would have been able to get her heal going, so let me do that. Roll 3d6s so she can get them all back in the end. I think that's full up. Actually, that is spot on for full up. Very nice.
perfect.
Nice.
I don't think she gets anything back on the short rest either. Oh, she's got a Goliath thing. Okay. I don't think she used it though. Anyway. So yeah, that's the retelling of how that went.
It feels like we're all pretty much ready to, split the party and get to work.
Logistically, it's not even that much of a split the party. It's, Harvest Crew stays behind and then catches up. It's going to be a split of like 3 hours. I don't think we're catching up and getting back to the tower in that time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, using your horse, this would be pretty manageable. Yeah, Kuro will have him. He'll load everybody up. He'll be like, "All right, we're leaving. Get your ass up and follow me." Or, you know what? Walk in front of me. That'll do better.
Okay, so to those of us who can speak common, has anybody figured out or done some review of the possible damage if this one rebels on the road? Probabilities? Anybody?
Well, I mean, he does not have his spear and is not moving to pick it back up. So that's a start.
I
But
still have a level 3 and 2 level 1 spell slots, so at the very least I can crank a giant ice breath and he won't last too long after.
And you know that their tails are quite good at grabbing things, but of course they can grab one thing at a time.
Yeah, so, they...
All
Remember that first salamander we came across and just absolutely destroyed? There's more of us. Remember, we've still got the NPC crew with us. So if that one gets out of
Who
line...
is staying behind?
I think it's...
right now it's Alvis and me.
Alvis... maybe it was Ambergreen also, or would he not fit on the horse?
I thought it was Irenaeus Alvis Monty.
Well,
Irenaeus for survival, Monty for guidance. Because I'm the one who wanted to cut up the thing.
I don't have guidance. I'm not a cleric.
Exactly. That's why I was saying somebody with guidance would make more sense as the third.
Right, I think I do.
Because, okay, would you be able to fit on the horse with the other two?
Wait, do I have guidance? Yeah, I have guidance.
What kind of creature are you?
I'm a dwarf, man.
All right. And is there somebody in the group that's going that can speak Draconic
I speak Ignan.
or Ignis? Okay.
Kuro and Lulu have you covered on Draconic, and so do you, Naya.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And I will be going south too.
Cool.
Okay, so
I guess that technically means I'm going south then. See you,
we'll,
Monty.
we'll
You're
stack
not
up
staying?
No, you'd be saying
parties.
there's again 2 harvesters, so one can give advantage, and then the person doing guidance. I guess the person doing guidance can also give help, or is guidance only a one action turn?
Depends
sort
on
of thing?
how it is. For me, it's a cantrip. For others, it's a spell slot.
No,
For me,
guidance isn't a
it's a
spell
cantrip.
slot. It's a
No, I
cantrip.
just misunderstood
It's
the
cantrip.
situation.
Okay.
Guidance is concentration.
Oh, okay. So yeah, actually, it only does need the person who gives guidance and the person that who's doing the help or being helped. So 2 people can do it. So it could just be you 2. Probably for
I
the
think my
better.
concern is making sure that if the Ignans come back around, that whoever's here has some backup.
Well, they
Right,
could
that
get
was
on the
kind of
horse and
my-
get out of there.
Right, that's fair. And I don't have any spells, so I'm basically just a cut rate fighter right now.
I know. I know. Stats wise, she's good, but I don't know what Aranais would do in this situation, and I don't want to make her character do a thing she would not prefer.
Right.
So I'm gonna have her go with the South team.
My
Okay,
my
that's
spell
good.
slots are all empty. Also, like I'm full.
I am not surprised.
Yeah, Elvis blew everything you had. It was a big fight, but you can still cast guidance as a cantrip.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
What's your
So-
survival, Alice?
What was that?
How much experience harvesting do you have?
I've been trying to practice this entire time that Alvis Taver has been out in the wilderness. I still have 0 points in it.
Okay, so this is going to be fun because I have never I've never done this part of the hunt.
My survival is +4.
Well, I've done it many
Oh.
times before. It's just education doesn't work like that in D&D.
All right, so we're helping Ambergreen.
I
Well,
just
shit.
suck at it.
Now that's gonna be funky because he can't guidance himself.
Right, and I don't have proficiency in it. I just have +4 because
No,
of
no.
wisdom.
So actually, since you've got the +4, isn't that as good as what a guidance would give anyway? Up to 4. So if you just do it without worrying about guidance, you're probably one of the higher survival people we've got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I'm wise, man.
Mhm.
Everything, everything I've harvested has been either botched or, lucky.
Ambergreen has obviously made his own drum at some point, so
Well, I have these rabbit hides that I did, and some of my shirt is made out of something that I butchered. Nimbus was there when I butchered that.
Let's
I
see.
literally butchered the
We've
butchering.
got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 salamanders and 2 Fomorians.
I definitely want to try.
Wait,
try
7
seeing
salamanders and 2 Fomorians.
if the Fomorian has like its eye or its skin is particularly useful.
right. I knew
Okay,
you wanted one of
so
those guys.
first I'm gonna need one of you 3 to make nature check to see what you know about what you get out of these things. You'll have advantage by default on the salamander because you've tried it before.
Oh, is it nature or not survival?
This is
He's talking
knowledge.
about identifying the right cuts, so to speak.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Look at
So that was for the salamander, Albus?
Yeah, absolutely. It would make sense. I've cut up the salamander before.
Okay, yeah. So as you know, you can go deep inside to where their kind of past where their heart would be and closer to the spine, you can find their internal forge, sort of system organ that is the object that generates heat. Um, you might need a way to hold on to this object because it will be very hot.
You could use your shirt, maybe.
Keep in mind, hot enough to do damage to you on touch.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that would at least give him resistance, right?
Yeah.
You can put it in the bowl of your shield. You can find some better way to wrap it when you get
Actually,
close.
Elvis does have fire-resistant pantaloons.
He's got fire resistant shirt. He's got fire resistant.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, if we use your shirt or your pants as de facto mittens, then reaching in would be better than not, right?
Actually,
Even
sounds
so,
like if you take the skin of one of them that you cut as pristine as possible, you can use that to wrap multiple sets of the glands.
Right,
Look at this one being
Interesting
wise.
thought. Yeah, clever.
That's actually intellect. Sorry, that was intellect.
Yeah, the part 2 would be that you the only other thing you could get off of them would be taking some of the scales from the snake half and getting some leather out of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the goal. Like having the fire resistant option available in clothing is, I think, worth pursuing.
Likewise, these fiery glandy parts we'll be able to use to make actual fire weapons, which, except against these
Right.
folk, will be very useful for us.
All right.
So it will deal damage to me. What kind of like damage would it do to a treated pelt? Like a whole pelt, a deer one. I'm assuming it's tanned too. It's actually just says a goblin make. So
essentially, what I want you to imagine is sticking whatever object you're using to do this into a 500-degree oven and letting it just kind of sit on the tray for a few seconds, however long you're touching this thing.
yeah,
So
exactly.
you need to have, essentially, you'd want to have something ready for this. Metal tools you'd be able to get away with just fine as long as you kind of hot potato it and
Soak it in cold water first.
that would help. And
A crucible would be perfect. I have a crowbar.
you might do some damage to what you're after if you use a crowbar.
How heavy is it?
The rib cage. The organ you're after is perhaps the size of a pear.
Less than 10 pounds?
Less than one, maybe half.
All right, I can hold all 3 of them.
3? What? You could use the mage hand to. Okay.
And I'll do some magic motion shit because I've been like constantly tweaking out on mage hand for a couple of years now. I have mage hand ledger.
You know what? This is viable. You can do the autopsy with mage hand.
Oh yeah, well yeah, because I can use what is it? Sleight of hand checks.
Yeah.
I can even make perception checks. What the hell?
Huh?
That's weird.
Probably by feel.
Yeah. No, contested by the creatures.
Okay.
Oh, other way
Okay.
around. Yeah, got it.
Now I understand. Okay.
So yeah, because you're able to use your tools to pick locks and disarm traps, I would allow you to use this for your survival. I might make you do a dexterity survival.
That's very kind of you. I'm down with this idea.
So you're gonna have to do, if you're going for all of these, you're gonna have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 checks.
And you said deck survival?
Well, okay, so tell me what you're doing first. Are you going for these hearts first?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the hearts with the sleight of hand since it seems like I'm the smallest guy, and because I'm the guy who talked about it, I think everybody here are the kind of people who would look at me and be like, "Well, then."
And what are you using to contain these when you're done? So I'm going to assume with the mage hand and your tools, you're able to kind of like open up the bodies and get in there and extract the item. I want to know where you're putting it.
Well, I had an idea
So
about that.
oh, you had an idea too. I was just gonna say if I draped my mage hand in one of my pelts, yes, the pelt would burn, but in theory, my mage hand can hold something as small
Well,
as a
yeah,
bear, less than 10 pounds.
your mage hand can just pick it up and pull it out, no damage to the mage hand whatsoever. Um, what what I want to know is where you're putting these things afterward to carry them home.
Oh, I
Right.
just tweak out for the entire time, casting it before the minute is up, and juggle it while it falls, or they
So-
fall.
7 of
You
them?
won't be
Hold on.
able to do that for 7 of these.
Yeah, hold on.
And
Here's what
also- Go
here's
on.
what I was thinking. I could embiggen my shield, fill it with ice chips from what's left of the ice wall over here.
Yeah.
We can harvest the organs into the shield. Then we can go back, harvest the leather, wrap the organs in multiple layers of leather, carry that back with us.
I don't even know that you need to embiggen the shield. They're not that big, and there's not that many of them. You could probably put them all on just the shield.
Great. Like, yeah, if that'll work, awesome.
That seems like a fair plan.
Yeah,
But,
especially with the leather handle. Yeah.
I mean, the ice might melt very quickly, but
Sure,
shield
but it at least gives
probably
us some
be fine.
time. That's all I was
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah.
Or would you prefer to have this skin ready to go first?
Yeah, I
Skin
mean,
ready.
we could do it that way if you want Alvis Taver or Amber Green, whoever's doing the actual carving.
That might be wiser, just because if the skin's ready to go first, then we have something to wrap around them, and then the shield, and then hold the shield. You know what I mean?
Probably,
Right. Yep, I get you.
I would imagine extract one while the mage hand is holding and juggling, as you say. That's when the skin gets cut off. So I would imagine getting the skin first, you're going to do a lot more damage to it, make it harder to extract that organ out.
Well, like I said, the skin is from the snake half, and the organ is from the man half.
Well, that's
so
true.
Actually,
Okay, then.
they're fairly separate.
Sounds good. Okay.
All right, skin parts is how I do it then, just for.
Sure.
So these are all advantage and then an additional D4 with the guidance.
Yeah. Are you being helped for
Yeah.
advantage? Okay. I'd just like you to describe what you're doing for help, Montlarin.
Well, yeah, I mean, since I've got I've got gauntlets, thanks to my gauntlets of big hands, I figure I can do things like pry a wound as the cut is made, right? Like do things to make it so that Alvis Taver has to make as little physical contact with any of the hot parts of the body as possible.
No,
Likewise, I can hold things back, I basically act like kind of like a nurse to a vivisectionist.
Okay. Yeah.
Hopefully, it's all quick enough that it's like no damage to you. Yeah.
Okay. Very well. Yeah, and as long as you're not in prolonged contact with these, they've been dead for an hour, so they're not quite so burning hot on immediate touch anyway. All right, then. Yeah, Alvis, give me 7 rolls. This is going to be a regular survival for the skin.
All right, for the skin, it's a regular survival, but with advantage help.
You'll have advantage from the help, and you'll have. I'll assume Amber Green is giving guidance every single time.
You said it was 7 times?
Yeah, I am.
All right, then.
Assuming you want all 7 salamanders.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just trying to think about how I was going to do that because the way I was just about to suggest might actually have been a hot mess unless you can see each individual die roll. If I say something like roll 7d4, because I know that would also be a combined roll, but could you see each individual die roll if you like highlighted over the
Yeah.
die?
Yeah.
Okay, so that might actually work out. I just didn't want to make a mess while also doing this.
Yeah, I think that works.
So let me roll this 7 times, and then I will do roll 7d4.
Okay, so hold. I can tell you that the first 2, regardless of your guidance, are going to be botched.
Well, my shirt was made with a botched one.
Well, there's a learning curve.
Your shirt's kind of small too.
Yeah.
Or is this like, legendarily botched? The first one is legendarily botched, but I might
these are all between the damage you all did to them in your battle and the damage you do to it trying to leave it.
The laces is what you're saying?
What?
These are the laces, like to the boots. These are going to be like leather laces, fucking.
I mean, yeah, if you wanted to keep them that way, then yeah. Essentially. However, regardless of your guidance result, the last 5 of them are just fine.
Ooh, yeah. I don't even have to roll those other ones.
Well, it means that you got better as you went along.
I kind of like how that turned out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you figured it out on your 3rd one, and then from there you just kind of coasted.
You have gained 5 salamander pelts, for lack of a better term. These are very large pieces of leather that you've managed to extract from these.
I removed the last one because
pieces
it
of
was
skin.
something. So I guess I have to add it to my thing again.
We probably want to put those on Bet Mountie. Like, you're not going to carry those yourself.
Good point. Yeah. No, never mind. But
that's
good.
Perhaps make sure you maybe bundle them together in a bag or with some rope. After
we're gonna
parts into them.
Yeah, we're gonna also use them for the organs as well.
Okay. So now, because you're doing this with your mage hand, I would like you to do a dexterity survival check. 7. Now, how is Montlarin helping with this? Hold on. You're not. Stop.
Sorry.
Those are not dexterity survivals unless you have the same number for both of those.
Not to mention advantage.
Well, he's helping me, so advantage.
Okay, hold on. So, dexterity survival means that you have no proficiency, but you have a +5. So
okay.
we have to subtract 3 from each of those.
Or yeah, I could press the correct button too, and we could. I understand the rules now, but
subtracting 3 from each of those is pretty good.
Yes. Montlarin, how are you helping with these organs?
Mostly in making it easy for the hand to get a grab at it, because I don't want to necessarily touch it directly. Okay. So, keeping the chest pried open, removing things like the lungs, that kind of stuff.
You're also holding the shield too, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we're doing it into the leather, right? Not the shield, or did we change our mind?
Into the leather on the shield is what I thought, just so that we would have.
I would just be keeping that basically at my side so that I could get it when I needed it.
Okay. Continue what you're doing, but I want you to hit the dexterity button, not your dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So 3 more. Okay.
Advantage.
Oh, those were normal. Sorry.
They were. Roll 3 more, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3 for the advantage. Okay. So
A 15,
15,
and 10.
21, 21.
yes, that 15 is the only one you're gonna need guidance for.
Nice.
However, the DC was 20, so there wasn't much point in rolling for that anyway. So
So close.
yeah, you accidentally pierce one of them, and at this failure, it explodes, and you take a face full of hot, extremely hot gas. But you're resistant, so only 7.
Oh, I was gonna ask if the resistance counted because it's steam.
Yeah, it's still fire damage. So, however, despite that setback, you are able to pretty cleanly get 6 of these internal forges out of these salamanders. Extremely hot, almost molten organ, and basically wrap it all up in the skins and stash it into a safe spot on the warhorse.
I say a little giddily to Montlaren, I wonder if I present this to Smitty, if he could make Keen a new body.
Oh, a powerful fiery body. Interesting. Interesting.
No, but like kind of like Gamora, but different. We had a talk. Think of like a puppet.
Oh, another automaton controlled by your,
Exactly, housing.
like a suit of armor.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he said that the suit itself would have to have some sort of power to it. This might not be enough, but
Well,
I mean,
specifically, he said that it would have to be something that you and Keen have some sort of close attachment to, and could act as a power source or conduit. Something that she could essentially possess, which is not something familiars often.
Are you gonna break down the Fomorians?
that's next. Yeah.
Yeah, as we wrap up these forges, though, I want to point out, Alvis Tavern, that we can't let that salamander see these. I don't think that we're doing any actual harm.
Or smell them.
Their beliefs go, but it would be troublesome, I think, and I wouldn't want to see them suffer.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I would then wrap this around the Fomorian leather, because I think leather cursed is maybe also leather that we could use for something.
Okay, so I'm gonna need another nature check about what you know about Fomorians and take from. So
Amber
go
Green,
ahead.
you're a bard.
Everybody can roll on that one, yeah.
Go ahead and give me a nature from whoever wants to do that out of you 3.
No, I mean, I'll give it a shot, but I don't really know much.
I only get +2. Yeah.
Did the other 2 roll? There it is.
No Amber Green?
Amber Green.
It's muted, so I can't tell.
No. Do I need to roll?
Yeah, nature.
Okay.
You can roll nature if you want to see if you know about. You don't. Okay,
Apparently, I do not.
great. Montlarin, you don't. You don't know as a learned person, but you kind of deduce looking them up and down that really the only thing that would possibly be useful out of them would be the thing that contains their magic, which is their one great big eyeball.
Yeah, that's what I suspected all along, as gross as that is. So, Alvastaver, I don't think that your plan of wrapping them in Fomorian skin is going to work. I think it's too it's not a leather in the sense that you're thinking. It's too delicate. I mean, just looking at it, it seems a lot like our skin, just more pustulant. So
Oh yeah, and
Your
stretched thin out over the bones.
Must be good for socks or gloves, even. Ooh,
No.
get the kid gloves.
yeah, I mean, the liver had been requested for what it's worth.
It's also a giant. I kind of hate those guys.
Yeah, well, I assume you want one of
You
those
cut it
eyeballs
open
for
and
your
examine the
academy,
liver
right?
if you like.
Wait, what? What was that?
What did you say, Malar?
I was just saying to Alvis that I assumed he wanted one of these eyes to send home.
Oh, absolutely. The eyes. Ah.
But yeah, you'd essentially be looking at human-like skin, malformed bones, whatever you imagine relatively ordinary gut stuff you might want to pull out of there. Who knows how much use for that you'd have.
Right. So like I might be able to get its, gallbladder or spleen or something, but it's not really, just from what I'm looking at, I wouldn't assume it's anything special in that regard. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Since
That
they're
is.
since they're not built like giant chickens, would they have light hollow bones, or would they have like super heavy, thick, dense bones?
They are giants, so those tend to be heavy, thick bones.
I'd take a good femur if I could.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. If you grab those damn femurs, we might be able to fashion them into some sort of weapon or something.
Alvastaver has a pathological hatred of giants.
So at the very least, you would want to have like a set of dagger tips for your whip made with them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The finger bones. Oh, think of that. Just line them all around the
Four 5-foot long femurs would be pretty hard to hide. Just saying.
I'm not gonna hide the femurs. That's why we get some leather, and then we get the femurs, and we wrap around.
Wouldn't they fit in the barrel?
It would all fit in the barrel. Yeah.
Yeah.
That barrel's not it's not that big. They'd stick out of it.
Oh.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah. But we need to keep the fire stuff away from the lizard guy. He didn't really seem to like. He didn't like the giant.
He might be really offended if he found that you had butchered the dead.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that would be.
His dead.
Totally grossed out, offended, and fuck you all, I'm gonna kill
He
you.
didn't seem to have a
Also-
lot of connection to the Giants, but I agree with what, this is my concern. This is why I'm saying we can't let
This
that.
is morbid. It's
That's
just
pretty
very
good.
morbid.
You know, leave it on a bag on the far side of the tower. He's not going to go over there.
Right. I was also thinking that maybe we could ride to the tower, and then, Alvis, you could ride back to HQ, and I would just stay with the rest of the party.
Me ride all the way back to HQ.
Alternately, I can do it. Like either way, my point is we can take what we've harvested straight back.
No. Albus Tavern, meanwhile, is thinking of all the alone time he would get with the Brigadier without the party.
Well, don't forget the Brigadier's in the field and heading for the tower.
But
The
no.
So, I mean, if you want to trade so that you're there for that, I could do that too. But I'm just saying, I think it's safer for this grisly delivery to never come across that creature's path. You know what I'm saying?
Albus Taver's out of character. Albus Taver's -1 in charisma is not much in looks as it is personality.
Well, and it's not helpful to him in tact and diplomacy situations either. It's not something he thinks.
Right. I'm not going to lie. I'd rather be the one.
Persuasion-wise, yeah.
I'd rather be the one that stays with the bigger group. But it will seem odd if you ride on with my horse. So I'm willing to make that trade. Just candidly, we're thinly treading a line I really don't want to cross, and I'm not comfortable with the ways this can play out. If you understand my meaning.
And if you
I
do,
do.
not be happy to who you
Wait,
enjoy
wait. I do, and if it does fall out, I see what it needs to be. I'll take the fall for you if anybody takes discovery. I see it. I've done this before.
I hadn't considered it that way, and now that you mentioned it, I feel bad. Maybe I should be the one to ride it to HQ.
Oh, I get to ride your ride. No, it's fine.
All right.
This is the way society works.
Yeah, well, let's get you your fingers and eyes.
Don't forget about the femurs, since we're taking the horse.
Oh God, right.
You did have to remind him of this, right?
All right. Give me. I think for the eyes, this would be pretty hard to help with. So give me a regular roll for the eyes. 2 of them. You get 1 eye for each.
Normal survival, yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a normal survival. Ooh.
Stab one completely right in the center of it because of my vibrating hatred of giants.
Yeah, and that 8 isn't going to help you too much, even if it turns into a 14 or a 12 rather. So unfortunately, you are not able to extract the eye. I think one of them was even damaged in the fight, like we said earlier. So both of these fail to be removed without damaging them irreparably.
See, now all we need is several pounds of skin, and it will be worth it.
I'm telling you, that skin's not going to be worth it.
It is, like we said, it is quite like human skin.
You make have none of you seen Golden Kamui?
Oh no, I'm not saying that you can't make human leather. I'm saying that takes a great deal of skill.
Yeah, we got an awesome tailor back home.
Right, but even the
amount
harvesting takes a great deal of skill. Think about the way your skin breaks.
activity.
Good point.
Absence of
I
empathy.
do take care of my skin.
Yeah, they clearly don't. Plus, a lot of the skin is burned.
But getting the finger bones is trivial enough that I won't make you do a check.
How about the livers?
If you want to cut these open to try to get at their guts, you can certainly try.
God, the hatred is vibrating my skin. I curse in giant.
Why? You took the time to learn their language.
Of course. Also, small man talks big.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like since lizards, since livers are relatively big, and seem to correspond locationally to most humanoids on this giant, we could probably, like, I mean, they don't have to be complete because of the way livers are livers. We could probably hack ourselves off a piece of liver relatively easily, I would think.
Yeah, you'd have to do another survival check, but Malarn could probably help this time.
One of you should do it. I don't think I'm
If you're the one that wants it, you do it.
It was Nimbus that actually requested the liver, so I'm going to
Okay.
try it because I feel obligated to at least try to fulfill his request.
Okay,
Science.
go for it. Guidance?
I could give guidance.
I was just assuming that you were, yeah.
Sure, yeah. I'm not actually cutting up no
13
monster.
will get you a fairly intact organ from the gut of this thing. They're ugly inside as well.
Right, so it's like tumorous and stuff. Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would try to wrap that in one of the leathers if there's one available. Otherwise, I'm like, hey, Alvis, where should I put this? In your barrel?
No, absolutely not. Wrap it up in one of its loincloths.
That one is going to stink, even before the loincloths.
But the
yeah, though
intent
wrapping it in a loincloth is a good idea.
is exactly that. If they're all filled with all sorts of tumors and uncontrolled growth and stuff, hopefully their livers are in like super hyper mode and one of them's got some juice that I can use.
All right, so they have loincloths and stuff, but is this like the only marking they have? Do they actually have a talisman or anything of note?
Not really. They're rather poorly dressed, considering how well dressed the giant himself was.
Sense. Yeah, no, I think we might be done here unless we want to explore the area. I'm gonna take my my barrel HQ and attach it to Bet Mountie.
Unless you want
Were
to get
you-
a giant's head for a skull helmet.
Were you collecting?
Oh, thank you for saying that. Could one of the
There's
bigger
no room.
decapitate the head?
Okay, you're gonna have to choose between femurs or head in that barrel.
Femurs or heads? I can't just stick the head on top of the femur.
Don't do that.
At that point, you are riding with a Fomorian head scarecrow on your horse.
Well, that'll scare
And-
shit off.
Yeah.
If you want that to happen, when you reconvene with your prisoner on a 2-day hike, then you can do that, and we can, see what happens.
So, could these guys just like reconvene with them an hour out, and I just fuck off before we get there?
No. Doesn't work like that. You want
No,
this
no.
shit, you pay.
No, yeah. So here's the deal. I'm never going to let that salamander see the horse. So when we get close, I'm going to split off and meet them back up on foot.
See?
In fact, I think we should ride ahead to the tower and then you can ride on. Like, I think we should pass them.
That's probably
Yeah.
the best.
I even have a map. We can go around in a faster manner.
Yeah, that's what I think we should do.
That's an interesting call.
So I could stick the head on top of the Fomorian peg pole.
I'm really not cool with that. You don't need that head.
I put it on my head though.
It's
It's gonna be too big.
probably
as it is.
about your
Yeah.
size, man.
You think its skull is going to be too big for like a great helm?
I think that skull is like big enough that it would look like you were wearing a mascot head.
True. Yeah.
Holy shit!
That's a
I
little
think you're
hilarious.
right. It's big enough to be a helmet for you, is what you're saying.
I mean,
Right.
again, they are 15 feet tall, so
Way to be sensible. And I was already thinking that maybe ribs would be more useful than femurs.
Oh, that's a lot harder to get out, man.
Good point. Good point.
you guys are probably gonna have to camp out here at this rate.
Oh yeah, that seems like a given at this
Leave the
point.
head. Let's go. I like your idea.
All right.
Just the femurs. We're good.
Okay.
Femurs, liver bit, and you're gone.
So several hours of gruesome work.
Pulp Fiction shit.
You get back on your horse. Go. So let's go ahead.
If it's truly Pulp Fiction stuff, then the deliberation between the heads and the femur bones happened.
Oh yeah, I thought that did
Fast
happen.
forward a wee bit.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So Albus, you're not here.
Nope. We rode way on.
And people who are here are Brigadier Dex. Let me just go ahead and get rid of this little ambush hiding on the GM layer that was here from last time. All of our now dead friends. Oh, except one of them. Okay. So you would have met back up. Montlarn would have caught up with the party pretty close to the tower at this point, and probably the morning after you guys camped out at that keep, the Redshift would have started. So it's been going for about a day and a half. So you meet up with the Brigadier and Dex at the obelisk. And they have already sent most of the reinforcements who marched up here back to obelisk Castus. Sorry, because this is a pretty small base right now, and there were about 50 people here in the meantime. So you imagine you'll have some disgruntled friends to meet up with when you go back to Orbis later. But for now, they are away. And as the Redshift approaches, you all group up around the obelisk to hunker down for the next week. Is there anything that anybody would have liked to have done on the walk back? Keep in mind, nobody's had interaction with Alvis Taver yet, and you wouldn't meet up with the two others until you actually got back here.
Well, I think my Naya's question for the Brigadier has to do with how close were you? We could have used your help.
She says,
Where
"I'm
were
sorry, we couldn't get there in time. It was quite the dash we had to make. We were probably still almost a day out, maybe a little bit less. Chose
So
not
where
to
did our planning fall down? I'm thinking we're going to have this kind of situation arise again because the prince and the princess got out alive. And they might be very wary of us right now, but there will come a time, probably sooner rather than later, when they get all arrogant again and decide that they want to go to war with us. So what went wrong with our planning that left
Well,
us there to work with what could have been a sizable army?
uh, just distance, really, I suppose. We did not have a lot of time with that ultimatum they gave us. I Dex and I split off from the main group as soon as we reached this obelisk, dashed ahead of them. Um, we were aiming to make it, but uh, there's only so much ground to cover in a day. Um, it's hmm,
Okay, well, it's
perhaps not.
something to think about for planning in the future. Maybe we need to have a larger group stationed at the various forts along the way so that we have a larger group closer by.
And indeed, that's been my intention to get more people up to this one, but with a newly built obelisk and then Arisa going offline uh, or losing contact with her, it was difficult to have people stationed. They they well and truly ambushed us, and we didn't have an answer for it. Uh,
Well, that's all I cared to say was making sure that we were reflecting upon that particular specific failure. 'Cause
Perhaps I should no
otherwise
longer.
we were successful, although we all took some significant damage.
Perhaps I should no longer hold on the back line. Perhaps I should be on the front line with all of you, at least at our most forward location, in case
No, I
something like
don't know
this
if
ever
that's
happens again.
necessary, but of logistics and tactics and strategizing where forces need to be as we push further north and further east, we probably should be giving some consideration to where might the enemy be, where
You're right.
might we have to engage them.
I think we overextended here this time with this obelisk, and we should have more people ready to go when we're ready to create and be ready to fortify it. If
Okay,
we have
well,
enough
that's all I've
hands, we can. If we have enough hands at any given location, we should be able to build a wall in the span of one redshift, no problem. And if we have a wall, even if it is wood against fire breathers, that's still something better than what we had. So
Yes, if it wasn't for Nimbus making the ice wall in the back and also making that bubble, I don't think we'd be standing here talking about it at all.
Certainly not. We would have all had to retreat as soon as that fire started coming down,
Right.
and then they'd have simply picked us off in pursuit. Hmm. It might not be
well,
a bad idea for you to consider being a little further up. Now that we have the ability, and have for a little while to communicate between the towers, I don't suppose that you're too limited, other than not having all of your administrative materials on hand. But we have plenty
they
of captains around, and I would imagine somebody from one of the um, forts further back would be able to fill the position at Orvis, or somebody else can be trained up.
Right, and it's not like we needed to have the brigadier on site with us because it's a matter of taking out the enemy and making decisions on the fly. And we ultimately ended up diversifying in terms of
any case,
direction you're going?
perhaps we should talk strategy in a more private location in a little while. I would like to talk to your captive myself.
Okay, do you speak Draconic or Ignan?
My Draconic is a little rusty. Quillix, will you sit with me?
Yeah.
Thank you. She'll kind of get you out of the way over here and lead the salamander over that way. Takes a seat on the boulder and starts just asking him questions. You're able to help her with a word or an understanding here and there. Essentially, grilling it on its character first. Basically, like, you surrendered. Are you going to stay that way? You seem like you're comfortable acquiescing. But very quickly, she turns to say, all right then, well, because of the situation you're in, I can cut you a deal. You tell us what useful information you know, and I can arrange transport for you to be sent back to the Empire. We can find somewhere for you that can allow you to live your life, and you can simply go.
Naya mentions to the Brigadier that Alvistaver's guild also made an offer.
Right. He thought there could be a place for this creature there.
Well, then perhaps we already have a patron. Where is Grontassel actually?
I believe he's on his way back to the fort.
Yes, we ran into some difficulties on the way back. It just
Okay.
seemed more expedient for him to return to the base.
Alone.
It would be faster that way.
I see. Well, you know what you're doing. So, all right.
He said was that his guild could offer the salamander a place to live and a function, something to do, if it was willing to, stay in the world and kind of give its loyalty over to the guild. It's the same kind of situation that anybody might make an offer to this being. So
She
it's
says
just
that, yeah, she says then, well, how about that? Are you willing? And he says, I can. I'm not dead, I suppose. So anything beyond that is a little bit more than I was expecting at the end of that battle. I'll tell you what I know and give you the information you ask for, and if you plan to send me somewhere, then I'll go there.
Dear, do you want me to ask it if it's got, or do you want to ask it if it has a preference, where it goes, how it goes, those kind of things? We do have some options.
He says, as long as I don't have to swim, I don't mind. And she
That's good too.
she laughs and she says, well, unfortunately, I think we might have to put you on a boat because that's the only way we have out of this place. But as long as you're okay with a week on the sea, I think you'll be fine. And he just says, I've never been on a boat, but if I have no choice. So, anybody else got thoughts or plans?
Do that again.
I would, as we were kind of talking in the back over by the obelisk, saying, yeah, you'll be probably a pretty solid gladiator. Probably shout that over when some of the communication's kind of gone, and it's like, hey, I bet he'd probably be a pretty good gladiator. Seemed to like to fight.
She
I would
says,
add a stanza to my song I'm writing about the.
we can allow this person
warrior.
to choose what he wants to do. I am more concerned with getting him somewhere that is out of here, and I'll arrange for somebody to act as his patron in that way, if he is so willing. Sounds like we have an agreement here.
Do we have to worry about who pays for it? Who pays for transport, secures transport? Do we have to worry about any of that stuff?
That's not a worry. We'll be able to put him on one of the shipping vessels on the way back. That should all be fine, as long as he has some caretakers on the way. Things secure. She says in Draconic, of course, though you might not like it, a boat trip would perhaps be your best motivation for not lashing out as a prisoner. I suppose I'd be rather stuck at that point.
Okay, well, so who is going to handle making that happen?
Well, in the meantime, he's going to have to stay with us, right?
Once we get back to Orbis, I'll send some letters
Okay.
back home. She says to the salamander, it may be a couple weeks indeed. So I suppose we'll have to bring you back to Orbis and keep you there for a while.
And
don't worry, we'll find a spot for you, and perhaps you can. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure I'll have plenty of questions for you, and those couple of weeks, plenty of time to think about them.
Do we know its name?
He says, my name is Magnius.
Okay, good.
I have no titles or any of that. Those are reserved for the Dragon King and his children.
Epic song about Magni.
He says, If it starts to rain, I would borrow a tent. Otherwise, the the meat food you have provided is sufficient, and I need little. Thank you.
Meat food,
I like meat food. I mean,
right?
I think Elvis gave him a ration, but I'm not sure he's had anything else.
Well, I'm
Well,
sure.
Ambergreen's been blasting create food and water this whole time. I assume as
Yep.
always. So
Yep, I got that.
so he would have been able to partake.
Have we determined it's a he?
Yes.
Good.
And I did hand it a ration.
Well, I guess we're done then.
Way back in the castle.
well, there's still the matter of Irenaeus' curse. Lucent or Decus, do either of you know of an easy way to lift a curse?
Let's see. Dex, I don't think has. Nope. Angela might have. Let me check her unprepared spells because she's got 3rd levels, so she should. Yeah, she's got remove curse. She could prepare it. Next long rest. So in case Irenaeus fails, she could just cast it. So either way,
Excellent.
Irenaeus will
Cool.
get cured by the time
Excellent.
next Redshift clears.
Well, then there's really nothing left but to rest and recuperate, right?
Long rest.
Okay then. Why don't we call the session there, and we'll come back next time. So you guys should all get 3,600 experience points.
Nice.
So, did I make it to HQ and or an obelisk before the redshift?
Easily you would have made it to the temple. If you really wanted to go to Orbis, you could get that far as well. Depends on how you want to do that and how far you want to party.
If I could have gotten it to our tailor, his name is leaving me right now. I would have done that.
How
Pontus.
close is Montmar to leveling?
Yeah, we're all kind of close. I'm
And how much XP? I'm sorry?
701.
701?
Mm-hmm.
500 points?
Oh no,
Then,
I'm saying that's how far I am.
Perhaps in that case, this would be a good time to give Montlarin 500 more so that we could hit level 7 flat for the whole party.
What?
All right.
How much XP?
So the way we're going to do this as usual on odd numbered levels is to simply set everyone to 23,000 experience. And so
Fantastic.
everybody becomes level 7.
Oh.
If you guys want to roll HP now, go ahead, and then we can do the rest of the level ups in between sessions.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do I roll for that?
You roll
Well, you
one.
first have to add your level in something. I'm sorry.
You roll
You
one
roll-
hit die, and that includes your con mod. Ooh, bad roll.
I mean, I'll take it, but damn.
Yeah.
So how's the automated way? Am I supposed to drag my class from the chat onto the thing, or
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
Can we
know
do
if
it?
there is an automated way.
You
okay?
just hit the number on hit dice.
Yes, like you are rolling to heal, but you're just doing it to increase your max health.
But do you do it just one, or do you do all of them?
Just
Just
once.
one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Albus, are you leveling up fighter again?
Well, I got a whole 5.
Yep.
Yay.
I rolled 5
All right.
too.
So yeah, so your max health goes up by whatever you rolled, whatever your result is.
Yeah, that was
Job.
1d10, 7 plus 1 in Constitution.
That includes your con already, so it's just 7.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just clicked hit die.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man.
It rolls your
Okay.
I'll let Irenaeus know to level up later. And so that you're getting a 3rd level in fighter now?
No, I'm 5 and 2.
Okay, got it. Cool.
We're all flat 7 now.
Yeah, that is correct. All right, nice.
I was technically ahead, but since we all flattened out.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah, okay. We'll leave it
See what
there.
that means. That'll be fun. I'll have to see what that means. All the new stuff.
4th level spells. Here we go. So, Naya, you're gonna get a whole new list.
Oh yeah, are the level ups from Tasha's in play?
I need to, before next session, I will define what exactly from Tasha's is going to be used. So,
Perfect.
because there's a bunch of shit in there. So, stand by and I'll figure that out.
Perfect. Awesome, man. Thanks for the session, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
absolutely.
Yeah, for real. Thanks.
Okay.
I hardly
So,
believe we actually all survived, to be honest.
yeah.
It was a little bit neck and neck there for a bit.
It was. I got my
we'll be
action surge.
back on in 2 weeks. So the next game is on the 29th. So, see you guys then.
Right.
Okay,
on.
thank you, sir.
Thanks, man.
Cheers, everyone.
Sounds good. See you then.
Bye, everyone.
Good game, everybody.
Yep. See you all later.
Later.
Night.